The president has renewed controversy on his Charlottesville comments.
He had blamed both sides for deadly clashes that broke out at last month's white nationalist rally. John Fenoglio in the newsroom with the president's latest comments. John.
Well, Sharon, Micah, while on Air Force One, President Trump was asked about his meeting yesterday with South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, the lone African-American Senate Republican who publicly condemned Mr. Trump for his Charlottesville comments. Those were remarks critics say gave comfort to white supremacists. Now, Mr. Trump appears to be standing by those words, again blaming both sides as he criticized anti-fascist protesters who countered the neo-Nazis marching with torches through the Virginia college town.
I think especially in light of the advent of Antifa, if you look at what's going on there, you have some pretty bad dudes on the other side also, and essentially that's what I said. Now, because of what's happened since then with Antifa, you look at, really what's happened since Charlottesville. A lot of people are saying, in fact, a lot of people have actually written, gee, Trump might have a point. I said you got some very bad people on the other side also, which is true.
The president has also said that there were, quote, very fine people on both sides of the unrest in Charlottesville. But just who those fine people were marching alongside white supremacists remains unclear. These are the people and their message that sparked the unrest that killed one woman and 2 state police officers in Charlottesville.
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
Meantime, the president and Democrats say they are working together on a plan to protect the young undocumented immigrants known as Dreamers from deportation. And immigration hardliners are not happy. As President Trump was surveying hurricane damage in Florida, the storm over the Dreamer program known as DACA was intensifying.
We're not talking about amnesty. We're talking about taking care of people that were brought here, people that have done a good job and were not brought here of their own volition.
The president met with Democratic leaders Senator Chuck Schumer and Representative Nancy Pelosi yesterday to discuss the immigration policy.
We all agreed on a framework to pass DACA protections and additional border security measures excluding the wall.
DACA protects nearly 800,000 immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children from deportation. But some details are still up in the air, including a pathway to citizenship and Trump's long-promised border wall.
We have to have a wall. If the wall is going to be obstructed, when we need the funds at a little bit later date, we'll be determining how much we need.
Mr. Trump's deal-making with Democrats has some conservatives steaming.
Whatever Mr. Trump's ego thinks it needs to be today, tomorrow, whatever he needs to do to get positive media headlines, to get somebody to adore him, to love him, it's, his new BFFs, Chuck and Nancy. I would urge them, far be it for them to take advice from me, Brooke, but I would urge them, after the last 2 years of what we on the right have seen, tread very carefully with Donald Trump.
The conservative commentator and longtime Trump supporter Ann Coulter echoed fellow conservatives this afternoon, tweeting, quote, at this point, who doesn't want to impeach Donald Trump? An immigration deal would be the second major pact between Trump and Democrats. They agreed this month to a deal on the debt ceiling and government spending. I'll send it back to you.
John Fenoglio reporting for us live in the newsroom.